Hello everybody and welcome back to Blue Jay Acres. My name is Noelle. Thank you so much for stopping by. So this week it is another Feed Your Family for 80 bucks. Family of 4. And again, I picked $80 because I feel like that is a very realistic number. Portion sizes are a good size and you can do it without really feeling the pinch. So we're gonna do 6 breakfast, 6 lunch, and 6 dinner. Now I say 6 because that 7th breakfast, 7th lunch, 7th dinner is to use up what you have already at your house. So if you have eggs left over, if you have some of the muffins left over, whatever you have left over, to consume that, because part of stretching out your budget is making sure you're not wasting anything. So you want to go on and eat that food up. So that's what day 7 is. If you have nothing left over and you can afford it, then it's a great day to just kind of treat yourself to some like Little Caesar pizza for $6 or something like that. So let's go on and we'll just jump in. I'm gonna start with the grocery haul. Here's what I bought. And again, I just shopped at Walmart because I feel like most people have access to Walmart. So no special deals or anything like that, just shopping at Walmart. So here's what I got. This actually cost a total of $80.48. All right, you guys, so here is everything I got for $80. And I just shopped at Walmart. I didn't shop any special deals or prices or, you know, looking for anything like that. So let's just go on and we'll start over here. Over here we have yogurt. I'll start with that for $2.36. I got a 4-pack of these little biscuits. There's 10 tiny biscuits in each pack for $2.97. I got a 2-stick pack of butter for $2.26. I got mozzarella cheese for $2. I got milk for $1.57. That's a half gallon. I got American cheese for $1.98. Eggs, 2 dozen for $5.56. Our 2 apples were $1.38. Our bag of carrots, a 2-pound bag of carrots, was $1.54. Our lettuce, head of lettuce, was $1.74. Our bananas, I have 6 bananas. You want to get them as ripe as you can. I got $1.62 for 6 bananas. Our big bag of potatoes here, it's a 5-pound bag for $3.87. And then the green bean, the peas, the corn, and the mixed veggies were all 98 cents a piece. And then the pineapple, crushed pineapple, was $1.28. Then over here I have chicken, and the chicken cost was $8.72. This is chicken leg quarters. It's 10 pounds worth. The hamburger was $3.97. The sausage was $2.97. Then I also got some stuffing here, and that was 97 cents. I got a confetti mix, cake mix, and a yellow cake mix for $1 a piece. Then I got the Chewy Fudge Brownie mix, and that's our treat. I try to include a treat every time, every week, $1.54. And tuna is $3.52. Then over here I have mac and cheese, and that is 58 cents. And I actually added that in as a snack option for this week because I had Brooke in mind, and she loves just that box mac and cheese. Then, let's see, there is refried beans, and for the refried beans, that was $1. There's tomato sauce, that was 96 cents. There is this nacho cheese sauce for $1.58. There is some salad dressing here, and if you followed last week's plan, you should still have some ranch left over as well. This is Zesty Italian, and so that was $1.97. Then I have the pasta sauce back here, and the pasta sauce was $1.62. Then I have some mayonnaise here, and the mayonnaise was $2.12. I have 2 cans of tomato soup, And the tomato soup was $1.36. I have a chicken gravy packet, and the chicken gravy mix was 74 cents. Sorry. The brown gravy mix was 48 cents. Then I also got a bag of tortilla chips, and that was $2.24. A bag of oyster crackers, and the oyster crackers were $1.07. And then I got a thing of sweet potatoes here, and this is already sweetened sweet potatoes. That was $1.54. I got a box of pasta, and that was 98 cents. I got some English muffins here, and that was $1.50. I got 3 loaves of French bread, already sliced even, made it even easier this week, $3. Now I think I got everything. Let me know if I missed something, but I'm pretty sure I got it all. And again, that total is $80.48. Let's just go on and get started. I'm going to break this video into 6 breakfast, 6 lunch, 6 dinners, and some snacks. Breakfast day 1, we are just going to do egg and cheese sandwiches. So I have some bread for 4 sandwiches going right now in the toaster. Just super fast and easy. I gotta drop a shell in there. I'm gonna just add some salt. Some pepper. I'm gonna add a slice of cheese to each one. And I'm just gonna remove that from the heat and let those just continue to get melted. All right, so here then is breakfast number 1, day 1. And that is the egg and cheese sandwich. And then I cut up a half a banana on each plate. So I used 2 of my bananas. That's it for breakfast. All right, we are gonna go on and start with 2 very easy recipes. These are gonna use our 2 cake mixes, and this will be 2 of our breakfast recipes. So one, I just picked Funfetti just because it was, you know, fun. Gives it a little color, but you could definitely just use 2 yellow cake mix, 2 white cake mix. Just make sure you're getting the ones that are, you know, under $1. So I'm just gonna go on to both like this, because I'm just gonna do back to back and pop them in the oven together. I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. Now these will also double as a snack. So it's great for breakfast, and I plan on each one of them for one day for breakfast. And then you have it for snacks or to save for that, you know, 7th breakfast that you're gonna use leftovers for. So to one of them, which I'll go on and do this one, we're gonna add 2 eggs. Yep. We are not following the directions on the back of the cake box. We're gonna add 2 eggs to that one. And we're gonna add 2 bananas. This is why you want your bananas to be as ripe as you can. The riper, the better. And this is gonna be our banana bread. So without having all the special ingredients at the house, you can just use the cake mix, which has all the stuff in it. It's got the flour, it's got the, you know, the rising agents. It's got the sugar, it's got everything in it. So then we're just gonna beat this, that's it. If you have a stand mixer, want to use a stand mixer, you can. If it's a little bit dry, you can always add a little water if you need to. If you have nuts and you want to add nuts, you could add that. You could add chocolate chips. You can turn these into muffins. You can turn them into a cake. You can turn them into like a banana bread. I'm going to add a little bit of water because this is staying pretty thick. Honestly, my bananas could have been a little riper. We'll just start with a little bit of water. There, you want it to just be like a cake batter. That's perfect. Honestly, could even go just a hair bit more water, another little splash. All right, then we're gonna just spray this down. I am gonna just keep it super easy and just put it in a baking dish. All right, this is ready for the oven. I'm gonna go rinse these real quick and then we'll move into our second one. All right, so for this one, it's even easier. We just add a can of crushed pineapple. That's it. This is actually a really old Weight Watchers recipe. You can do it with any kind of canned fruit. I feel like the pineapple is just the best. This also makes an amazing pineapple upside down cake because this is so moist and delicious that you put some, you know, butter and brown sugar on the bottom and your pineapple slices and your cherries and then pour this over top. I'm telling you, it's the bomb. All right, so we're just gonna mix this. That's it. These are one of Charles's absolute favorites. I haven't made them in years, but he loves them and he asked me to make them. And I had completely forgotten about them. All right, then I'm gonna spray another pan down. And I'm gonna pour this all in here. All right, now these two are ready to go in the oven. I'm gonna bake them at 350 degrees just until I can stick a toothpick in and they are done. So it'll probably take about 30 minutes. Okay, so the egg sandwich and banana that I showed you, we still have 2 bananas left. That is a 2-day meal for us, so we're gonna do that twice. Then we have these 2 going. So that's 4 breakfast options, so 2 more to go. All right, our next breakfast is super easy. And I am just gonna chop up an apple. I'm gonna use 1 apple per 2 people. This is a great school morning breakfast or just, you know, run it to work with you. So I'm just gonna chop it up. And then put it in a bowl, and I want, you know, decent sized servings. So I only put this down once. If you have smaller people, then, you know, or you don't like a bigger breakfast, you could definitely make this into 2 and just use 1 apple and divide it between 4. But I'm trying to be realistic in portion sizes and, you know, what people would really eat. Again, making this as something like a guide for my children. And I want them to be satisfied and full. And then I'm just going to take the yogurt. And this says 3/4 of a cup. There's 5 servings. So basically then, that is about a cup of yogurt a person. So just kind of take 1/4 of this container. A person. And then I'm going to add some cinnamon to the top. That's it. Lots of apple. If you had raisins, raisins would be good added in this as well. Celery would be good. But yeah, that's a good sized breakfast. And the yogurt's already sweet and everything else. If you want to spend a little more, you could get a Greek yogurt, but then you also have to sweeten it. So keep that in mind, unless you were to get like a sweetened Greek yogurt. But yeah, there's the next breakfast. Okay, for the next breakfast, I'm gonna go on and do 2 cans of our biscuits. Now there are 10 biscuits in these cans. So that is 5 biscuits a person. Now they are gonna be small little biscuits, but that's still quite a bit. Just gonna put these in the oven to bake. Then here I'm gonna do half my sausage, half of my pack of sausage. Alright, I'm just gonna brown this sausage up. So we are going to use the other half of this sausage for a different recipe. And I am going to use a little bit of flour from the pantry. If you don't have flour, you could just make sausage biscuits and not worry about turning it into gravy. But biscuits and gravy is one of my kids, definitely one of their, well, I take that back, not all of them. This is definitely Jake and Ronnie, one of their favorite breakfasts. I try to do a little bit of what everybody loves. Alright, then I'm going to just take some flour and sprinkle it over the top. Along with some salt. Some pepper. Now you want to cook the flour a little bit so it doesn't taste like raw flour, because that does not taste good. Just kind of stir it around, brown that flour in there. Turn my heat down a little bit. If, like, this isn't very greasy, if you had some bacon grease to add to it, you could do that. We're going to make do the way it is, but you could definitely do that with some bacon grease. Okay, now I'm going to start adding in some milk. And I'm just gonna whisk this up. And I'm gonna let this cook until it thickens. I'm gonna add a little more salt. Sorry if you guys hear the cats. It is nice out and they don't know if they went in, they went out. So just a minute ago they were trying to go out, now they're trying to come in. They don't know what they want. So you'll hear them probably cry a lot over the spring. So we're gonna let this just kind of cook for a little bit. You just want to make sure you keep stirring your gravy. You want it to boil and cook down, but you also want to make sure it doesn't burn on the bottom because it is milk. Gravy does take quite a bit of milk, so it did take it down to about here. So we still got about a little over half of our gallon of, or half gallon of milk left. All right, this is starting to go. Also, real quick, on sorry, I'm stirring this gravy while I'm talking to you. On last week's video, somebody had asked about if I have the recipes attached or linked down below or anything. I do not, because these aren't really recipes. I'm just kind of throwing stuff together. Now, when I do more cooking from scratch and sharing those, I will definitely share a recipe linked down below. But Charles and I did talk about him doing on our website a page where you can click and print out a shopping list of exactly what I bought and the meal plan of exactly what I made. And maybe then I could write just a little quick description, like with this, to add the can of pineapple to the cake mix. A quick little description like that. So let me know down below if that's something you would like, if that sounds helpful to you. So you could just quickly go print stuff, obviously for free, just trying to help you out. Let me know down below, because I think that would help my kids out a lot too. So, all right, back to this breakfast. All right, this is starting to look good. So I did turn it off. You do want to go on and give it a little taste. Make sure that it doesn't need any more salt or pepper. And that tastes perfect to me. And just in time, our biscuits are done. Real quick, another question that I got asked about is bacon last week. And if you guys ask questions down below, I will try and answer them on the next week's video, best I can. And that was bacon grease and how do I keep it from splattering everywhere when I bake it in the oven. And the answer is I don't. I just do the self-cleaning mode on my oven, wipe it out and clean. But it's still way easier for me, so even though it makes a mess in my oven, I still do it. So if any of you have tips, let them know down below about maybe how you keep the bacon, because I mean, if you covered it, it's going to kind of steam the bacon. I don't think that'd be great. So let her know if any of you have suggestions. But here it is. That's our biscuits and our gravy. And then what I'm going to do as well is fry an egg to go with it. And then I like to just kind of crumble the biscuits up. You don't have to, of course. And you wouldn't have to use all 5 if you didn't want. If you had some jam, and you could do that. And you got some butter, so you could use that. Also with the butter, I know you could also buy margarine a lot cheaper. I just prefer butter. So and then just that sausage gravy on top. I mean, this is a good hearty breakfast. And then the way I grew up is you always put some on your egg too. Top it with a little fresh pepper. And this is our last breakfast option. All right, and here are our cakes slash muffins, banana bread, whatever you want to call it. I call these the pineapple muffins. And here's the banana bread. I'll cut that and let you guys see what that looks like. All right, Charles is gonna try the biscuits and gravy for you.
Is this sausage or bacon?
It's
Gravy.
sausage. And you can see the chunks of sausage all in it.
Okay, so you can edit that out.
Yes, I make bacon gravy
I
too.
heard you making bacon. You're talking about bacon, so that's why.
I don't remember talking about bacon, but it's all good.
You're talking to bacon about me. With me. Oh, that's really good.
You like it on those little biscuits?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's a very hearty portion, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even put an egg on yours because he's also about to taste those muffins for you guys.
And you had just mentioned the bacon grease splattering in the oven. That's
Okay. I did talk about bacon grease. All right, there
so I
you
may
go.
be working in the other room, but my ears are still open.
There you go. Always open to what's going on in the kitchen.
Yeah, my stomach and my taste buds are always open to what's going on in the kitchen anyway.
All right, I'm going to show you guys these muffins now.
Really good.
Thank you. Okay, so I wanted you to look at this because also portion size. Because I am using this as only one breakfast listed. There is plenty for snacks or for that 7th breakfast. This is so nice and fluffy. I want to show you guys. So this is the banana one. You can see how nice and big and fluffy that is. Now you could serve this with the other half of the banana if you didn't want to do your egg sandwich with that. Or you could serve it with some apple if you didn't want to put that in your yogurt. I mean, you can mix and match it how you want. You could serve it with a fried egg if you wanted. However you want to mix and match it. You could also sprinkle a little powdered sugar on here, but you can see, I mean, that's like a good size piece right there. Then I'm going to do the same over here. Now this one is very soft and moist, which I think is part of why Charles loves it so much. It does not get as fluffy, but it is very, very delicious. So this one you might need 2 pieces. This one doesn't want to come out. So this one I would do 2 of these pieces. If you can see that, I would do 2 of these. We usually make these into little muffins, but that's one. That still leaves you 4 little pieces left over here, which could easily be, again, a snack or one person's breakfast. All right, my taste tester is going to try it for you.
Left hand or right hand? I think I'll start left hand. Fun fact, I'm left-handed.
Yes, he is.
Go lefties. I actually grabbed this one because it didn't have as much steam coming off. It's both festive and delicious.
I did the fun because, you know, kids like funfetti. I like funfetti. Everybody likes color.
No, it doesn't taste or change the flavor any.
No, it's just fun. And you could also sprinkle a little powdered sugar on top if you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I would make a crumb topping to go on top, but I was trying to keep exactly with what I bought, using as little as possible, that I didn't. All right, try the other one.
That is.
He gonna keep just eating it all. He's hungry.
I am hungry.
All right, here's his favorite. This would be good too, honestly, if you wanted to put some yogurt on top of it. Because it is kind of like the consistency of a fudgy brownie, is what I would say the consistency is like.
It's a very, very moist.
That's his favorite. I'm glad you asked me to make that. I completely forgot about it. I used to make it all the time.
They should say.
And that also freezes well.
Words can't.
Both of them freeze well.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's something I used to do all the time, is put some in the freezer so I could just pop them out and throw them in your lunchbox and they'd be thawed out when you were ready.
Make them in a muffin tin.
I usually do.
And then just put them in a baggie and.
But I was trying to be even more simple.
It's all good. Just
All right.
an idea.
We'll see you at lunch.
Perfect.
All right, so there you have it. There are the 6 breakfasts that we're gonna eat, and that, you know, day 7 again, whatever's left over, we'll just kind of put that together and people will have that for breakfast. So now let's move into our 6 lunches. Okay, so for lunch number 2, this could also be a wonderful dinner, like a Friday night dinner. You're watching a movie or something, but my girls are home from college. Ronnie has a friend over. And so we're doing one of our bigger lunches here. So we're gonna do the whole bag of chips. And then I'm just gonna take that can of refried beans and just kind of plop it throughout. Or you could thin it out if you want. But I find this is just fine to do it this way. Now, I think homemade tastes better like we made last week, but that is, I wanted to give an option without having to cook dry beans. If you don't want to do beans at all and you want a beanless week, or you don't like beans, then you can just leave the beans out and just do the cheese. Just have cheese nachos. But I like to give the little bit of protein to the beans. So I'm just doing this whole can on here. Then we have that can of nacho cheese sauce. And I'm just gonna kind of pour that over here as well. Thought it would pour a little better than it is. It'll be all right. It'll all heat up great together. If you don't want to put it on when you put it in the oven like this, you can also always just heat the cheese on the stove and then pour it over when you pull out the chips and beans. All right, I'm gonna pop this in the oven. All right, so here it is, lunch option number 1, what we're having for lunch on day 1. And that is the bean and cheese nachos. All right, one of the first things I'm gonna do is go on and boil 5 eggs. I need 4 for lunch and 1 for dinner. Okay, so the first lunch, or the second lunch, I'm sorry, is gonna be super easy. We're gonna use 2 cans of that tuna. And we are gonna have this 2 days this week. So I'm just gonna put that in here. And then I'm just gonna add a little garlic powder, a little onion powder, and some of our mayonnaise. And just mix this all up. I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. Then I'm just going to take some of my tuna and put it on some of the bread. And then I'm going to just top it with some cheese. Some of the singles. And I'm going to pop this in the oven until they melt. And then we're just going to have these little tuna melts. Now I would make 2 for each person. So this right here is for 2 people because I'm making this and the other lunch option right now to share with you guys. So, but you would want to have like at least 2 of these per person. All right, for the next sandwich, I'm gonna take 2 pieces of bread and toast it. Then I'm going to take some mayonnaise. This is one of my favorite sandwiches. I love the sandwich whether we're on a budget or not. And I'm just going to cut up a boiled egg. You could eat it open faced or closed, or you could just turn it into an egg salad if you want. This is just like a easier egg salad kind of thing. Then I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And some pepper. Alright, and then I'm going to serve that with some carrots. If you have some ranch, like leftover from last week, how we did ranch, you could have some ranch with it, with your carrots. Up to you, but carrots are going to be what we're going to serve with our sandwiches instead of like chips, but you still get that crunchy, you know, something when you're eating it. Alright, and then here is lunch number 2. Alright, Charles is taking a break from a meeting real quick to taste test for you guys.
Yep, let me take these off. I'm actually on 2 meetings at one time.
It's still going to take a minute.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Those are my favorite. I always love those.
Mm.
That one might be a little hot.
That's still good. Oh, wow, it's pouring.
Yeah, it is. A lot of rain. That one's a little hot. I'm rushing because Luke's waiting on me to watch the show, so.
That's good. I think I would use a fork instead of just picking it up, but.
Well, and if I cooked it a hair bit longer, the bread would get crunchier, but you like them both?
Mm-hmm.
And carrots instead of chips?
Oh, what a wonderful carrot.
All right, there you have it, folks. So which sandwich do you like better?
Huh.
Egg. He's an egg salad lover, and it tastes like egg salad. All right.
Very good.
Go eat some lunch. Okay, so we got 2 more lunches to go for this week. So I'm going to start off by putting some bread here. And I'm going to top it with a little bit of our butter. I just kind of softened it in the microwave a little bit so it would spread. Put it at 350 degrees. Then I'm going to sprinkle a little garlic salt and a little garlic powder. And then I'm going to pop this in the oven as some garlic bread. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour in our jar. I'm doing 2 lunches here at one time. So I'm going to pour in, if I can get it open, there it goes, our jar of spaghetti sauce. And I'm going to just swish a little water in there to get all that out of there. To stretch that out further, I'm going to add our can of tomato sauce. To this, I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. That's completely optional. Give this a good stir. Then I'm going to take the English muffins and separate them. I'm going to put a little bit of sauce on each one. Then I'm going to grate up our whole a block of cheese here, the mozzarella cheese. Right, then I'm just going to put a little bit of cheese on each one. I want to save a little bit of this cheese for the pasta as well. And then completely optional, a little sprinkle of Italian seasonings on top. And then I'm going to just pop these in the oven. Then next, I'm just going to cook the pasta in some salted water, and that's it. I'll see you in just a minute. Alright, so then here is one of the lunch options. It's the English muffin pizza, salad, and we have the Italian dressing to go with that. You could also shred some carrots on there if you wanted, or make up some kind of crouton, sprinkle a little cheese on your salad. So you could dress it up, or just leave it plain. Alright, and then our last option is the pasta, the cheese on top, garlic bread, salad, and again with the Italian dressing. That's why I picked Italian dressing, to kind of go with the two Italian dishes. So that's going to wrap up lunch. Alright, so one of our snacks then choices is brownies. Just followed the box and did the directions on the box. And this is the one that we had got. And the other snack option planned was this macaroni and cheese. Just make it like the box says. And then of course any leftover muffins or boiled eggs, or make another sandwich. Any leftovers. Okay, so for dinners, we're on to dinners. The first thing I'm going to do is I am going to separate my chicken here. So this bag gave me 8 legs and 8 thighs. So this is going to actually turn into 3 meals. So I'm going to go on and just finish cutting all of these. All I'm doing is I'm cutting between them, and then I'm popping it. And you'll see it just kind of pop. And then finish cutting right above it. Alright, now that these are all separated, I'm just going to add some poultry seasoning. If you don't have that, you can just add salt and pepper, or you know, whatever spices you like, herbs on your chicken. Alright, I'm just going to make this until it's done. Alright, next I'm going to cook up all the potatoes. I semi-peeled them because we actually like some peelings in our mashed potatoes and in the rest of the stuff. I'm not happy about that. I need a different potato. So I'm going to start by boiling. Well, we're going to divide it. I want 2 dishes with the mashed potatoes, and then I'm going to put a few over here that I'm going to bake in some chunks. This is going to turn into a potato salad, but I like them kind of baked instead of just boiled. If I was using my Instapot, I would just throw all of them in the Instapot. But I want to go on and get the ones I want for the baked potatoes, or the potato salad first. And then I'll move into the mashed potatoes. So the rest I'm going to just put in here in the mashed potatoes. right, and then the potatoes over here, I'm just gonna add a little bit of oil, toss them around. Then I'm gonna go on and add some salt. Pepper. Some onion powder. Some garlic powder. Alright, I'm gonna pop this in the oven and let these cook until they're fork tender. Alright, next we're gonna make, while everything else is cooking, our next dinner. So with this, I'm gonna use half this bag of oyster crackers. Now, if you don't want to use oyster crackers in this recipe, you could set out some pieces of your bread the night before and let them dry. But we're gonna use this in place of breadcrumbs. So, it's about half. Alright, and then you don't even need special equipment. Take your can of tomato soup and just get this into crumbs. Kind of roll it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take half of our ground beef and put it in here. I'm going to turn it out and get all of it. Then I'm going to use the other half of our sausage and get all that in there. I'm going to add one of our eggs. I'm going to add our cracker crumbs. I'm going to add some onion powder, some garlic powder, and then because I have carrots, I'm going to grate some carrot in here. That'll just help add some extra moisture and give it a little filler. And then I'm going to use half our can of tomato soup that we have. This is in case you don't have ketchup. If you have ketchup, mustard, and all that, and you want to use that, then use that. I'm going to pour a little bit here. I guess we won't even use a half. Just pour a little bit there. A little drop of milk. And then I'm going to get in and just mix this all up. We need to add a little more soup or milk because of the crackers being dry, then add more. I'm gonna add just a little bit more of the soup. And a little more milk. Oh, I might have got too much that time. That's all right. Then I'm gonna put mine in a loaf pan. If you don't have a loaf pan, just put it in a casserole dish. It's just gonna cook a little bit different. The thicker it is, the longer it's gonna take to cook. Just push this down. Now I did not add any salt to this because I added all those oyster crackers, which have salt in it. So I don't need to add salt. You could also just turn this into meatballs if you would rather it be meatballs. But we're gonna go with the meatloaf. Again, this is one of those meals that there's probably going to be some left over. It's great for that lunch or dinner. Charles loves to make meatloaf sandwiches. So I did end up using about half the can of soup. And I'm just going to take my hands and spread it on here. You could also, if you want, add some brown sugar if you had it, or sugar to that. Alright, now I'm going to put this in the oven. So the next super easy dinner option that we have is tomato soup with that 1.5 cans of soup. I'm going to do 1 can of milk and 1 can of water to that. And we're going to serve that with some grilled cheese. So we're just using some of our butter, some of our bread. I think most of you know how to make grilled cheese. So we're going to have that, and we also have the oyster crackers. So here is dinner option. I don't know what dinner number we're on. We're doing 6 of them. So of course top it with some black pepper if you're like me. And that is a nice dinner. You could also, if you got some salad left, add a little salad to that. But that is another option. Alright, so now all these potatoes are done. I'm going to just start by adding salt to this. Some pepper. Some onion powder. Garlic powder. I'm going to use a half a stick of butter. Some of our milk. And then we're just going to start mashing this up. Alright, as you can see, this is a big, big bowl of mashed potatoes. But we are going to be using this for 2 different recipes. So that should be plenty for everybody. Alright, now these potatoes are done as well. They're nice and fork tender, but they're not falling apart. I don't want them to fall apart. So, as you can see, I'm going to let these completely cool before I do anything with them. Alright, and now our chicken is done as well. Okay, so with this chicken, I'm going to drain all this chicken juice from cooking it into this pot here. And all that good broth. Okay, and you can see how much that made. That made a lot, which is great. So now with that, I'm going to add our chicken gravy mix. And I'm going to make it go even further by adding water. But to this water, I'm going to add some flour, just to thicken it. I want to stir the flour in this water so that my gravy doesn't get all lumpy. Just break up all your lumps here in the water. And then stir in the gravy mix and your water concoction here. And honestly, I'm going to do a little more water and flour, because that can even be thinned out a little bit further. Alright, we're going to let this come to a boil and get nice and thick. So while we're waiting on that, I'm gonna go on and do our sweet potatoes. So I have these sweet potatoes here that have the syrup in them. I'm just topping them with a little bit of butter. Just set them on this pan here, running out of room. I'm gonna use a little cinnamon. And a little bit of salt. And I'm gonna put this in the oven to cook for just a little bit. Now with your gravy, you are going to want to try it because you might need to add some salt. So you want to give it a little taste and see if you need to. It definitely needs some salt. So I'll go ahead and add that now. And turn this heat off before this starts just bubbling over everywhere. So move it from the heat. Alright, now our meatloaf is also done. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out. Alright, so here are two of our dinner options. So I did put some of the gravy. We have plenty of gravy. So put some gravy on the chicken, a little bit of gravy on the stuffing. The stuffing I made just as the box said to make. Then we got our sweet potatoes. And then over here we have our meatloaf, and there should still be a piece left over. And green beans and mashed potatoes with a little bit of that gravy. Okay, so for a fast, easy potato salad, I added the potatoes here, and that's what's going to give it a lot of flavor. Is that we already seasoned the potatoes, and we baked them. I am going to add that one boiled egg that we made when we were making lunch, and I said we need one for later. Well, here it is. That's going to go in here. If you have mustard, I would add mustard. But since I didn't buy mustard, I'm trying my hardest to go without stuff other than like using a little flour, oil, or something like that. If you had some bacon bits, that would be good in this. Right, and then you can taste it and see if you need anything else added to that. Any more butter, or salt or pepper. Alright, and here is another dinner. The chicken legs, the potato salad, and some corn. Alright, Charles is going to try some of this. So we got 3 meals ready to go. I was going to just do everything daily, but I kind of like this not cooking, and you guys liked the longer videos, and I like having the days off in between. So he's going to try the meatloaf and the mashed potatoes on that one for you guys.
Oops.
It's probably gotten a little bit cold, but he likes cold meatloaf, so. And if you have ketchup, you could add ketchup to it, or barbecue sauce. What do you think? It's not my normal meatloaf. It's my poor man's meatloaf.
It's denser than your normal meatloaf.
Which will be good for sandwiches.
Which will be great for sandwiches. But the flavor's really good.
Good.
I'll probably actually finish eating all of that.
And I figured that'd be your favorite one. Alright, and then try just the mashed potatoes and gravy.
A few lumps in there, which is good. Good. I think it's great.
That's the little bits of peels that we like. Alright, then you're going to try the sweet potatoes. And you can try the stuffing. He does not enjoy sweet potatoes, but he will try them for you guys.
Just like a sweet potato.
Alright. You can try your stuffing if you want, but it's just box stuffing.
The way I look at it with the sweet potatoes is, if I needed to eat the sweet potatoes because I was hungry, I would eat those sweet potatoes. They taste good for a sweet potato.
This is not his favorite.
It's not my favorite.
All right, you can try your stuffing, but it's just box stuffing with a little bit of the gravy on it. And then you need to try the potato salad. Again, not my usual way of making things, so it's kind of different for him to try, but
You're right,
the
the stuffing
is
just tastes like
box stuffing.
box stuffing.
All right, try the potato
Which-
salad.
I grew up on, so
Trying to move
That's
around in
kinda
our
like
little
a-
kitchen.
kind of like a comfort food. All right, I got that. You got a lot going on in here, so I got to get a bite that's got kind of all of it.
And have no fear, these will be his plates of food. I'll just put them in the fridge and they're ready to go when he's ready for dinner.
It's kind of like eating potato salad and egg salad together. But I gotta tell you, that's really good.
Thank you.
I get another bite.
All right, we'll see you when the other two dinners are done and you can try those. Okay, we got 2 more to go. So in this one, I'm gonna go on and on high and just in the same pot, because this can go straight into the oven. I am going to fry up the rest of our ground beef. To this, I'm going to go on and add some salt, onion powder, some garlic powder, of course pepper, to this, I'm going to add a little bit of flour. I'm just going to cook that for a minute. I'm also going to add the brown gravy packet to this. And I'm going to start adding some milk. So kind of like when we make our sausage gravy, but we've also got the brown gravy packet in here. We want that to thicken up a little bit. I'm also going to be adding our mixed vegetables here, but I want to go on and let this thicken up for a minute first. We're just going to stir, so we don't want this to burn at the bottom, and get all the little bits up. I have my oven set to 350. I'm going to put both of these next dishes in the oven and let them just cook, and then we'll show you that. That's starting to get thickened up. So I'm going to go on and add my mixed vegetables in here. I'm going to add just a little bit more milk. We've used almost all the milk now. There's just a little bit left. If you've already run out of milk, you could just add some water. I think it needs a little bit more salt. A little more pepper. Okay, sorry, I thought it was recording and it wasn't. So then I just topped it with our mashed potatoes that we had, and now I'm gonna just put this in the oven, probably 15-20 minutes. All right, now we're on our last dinner option. So for that, I have 4 of the chicken thighs left from making the chicken and having 2 chicken dinners. So I'm just gonna get all that meat off of here and just put it in here. These chicken thighs are pretty good size. So I'll be back after I get all this meat off the bone. And next I have our our frozen bag of peas here. And I'm going to just pour that in our pan. Then we're going to top it with some of our gravy. We're going to have leftover gravy. Just made a big mess. You can always freeze gravy and just pull it out when you need it. And there's plenty of gravy. Then we're going to top it with our last 2 cans of biscuits that we have. All right, just like that. And then I'm gonna pop this in the oven. All right, here are our last 2 dinners out of the oven. I'm just gonna let them cool and then I'll serve them up. But you can see these are some big servings. So there'll definitely be some leftovers of these, but I'll have Charles try these for you. So basically this is like a cheap shepherd's pie and kind of like a pot pie kind of thing. Alright, so here is the like shepherd's pie, and here is the chicken and gravy and biscuits.
It looks really good. I'm trying to make sure I get chicken and. You and your wooden spoons.
Yes, I love wooden
You
spoons.
love wooden spoons. I love metal spoons. They
No,
cut easy. I'm looking like a bumbling goof.
no comment.
Mmm. Oh, that's got really good flavor.
I think it's really good too.
Mmm. Very good.
Alright, now I'll try the
I
next
could
one.
like finish that whole bowl up.
Now that one I got a little bit thin. If you guys had it a little thicker.
I'm gonna guess this was the one that was ready most recently.
No, they were both ready at the same time.
Really?
But that one was in the cast iron, so that probably holds the heat a
Oh
lot
yeah.
longer.
Okay, well some did.
But that one, you guys, if you make it a little thicker, let it thicken up a little bit more before you put the mashed potatoes on. But it's still good.
Got a little like confetti going here. You got a theme with that banana bread and this. Kind of got some confetti look going on.
Still really good. He loves for something to eat is just mashed potatoes and corn together.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is like that, but then it's got other vegetables too, and it's got some meat in it.
That's really good. I think they should cool down a little bit. That tends to get the flavor a little more, but I think it's perfect. Other than that, other than heat.
I think it's very good too. All right, you guys, that's all the dinners.
That's like a comfort food. This will be really good. Like when we go from these like 60-degree temperatures
To 40s.
down to like 40s and 30s, because we get down to like.
Actually, we were 74,
30 this week.
and in a couple days,
Yeah.
we're 44.
This is the comfort food that just kind of brings y'all back together again. So
Yeah. Very
good
good.
deal. Very good.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope all of you have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye, everybody. I'll see you next time.